For somebody that has no clue, no idea about your life, what you experience, her life, what are 3 things you want them to know?
3 things that I want people to know about our lives and my lives, my life. I would say that you don't really know what we're going through, so be patient with us, and I will do the same. I don't know what you're going through, so I'll return the favor. I would say that life with epilepsy is really, really hard, and we need to raise more awareness about it. The chances of you yourself experiencing a seizure is 1 in 10 people will experience one. So please go learn about first aid, learn what the word epilepsy means, because it's important. And I would say that even though we have a child who has seizures and is in a wheelchair and has a service dog and is sometimes in a helmet, that she's amazing. Get to know her. She's pretty incredible, so that's what I'd say. I met my husband when I was 18 years old. I was in the Navy and he was in the Marines, and I was in school, and he joined the school 3 years, he joined the class 3 weeks late, and he walked in, popped the door open and said, "Who's got the highest grade in this class?" And a few people pointed at me. I don't know if I did or not, and he said, "Not anymore." And I thought he was the biggest loudmouth, jerk, smart aleck that I had ever met in my entire life. And he's all of those things. He's all of those things. But over the next few weeks and months, we got to know each other and fell in love. And here we are 29 years later, still together. He's still a loudmouth. She was 2 years old when she had her first seizure. It was the middle of the night. She had been completely healthy up until that point. And we heard sounds coming from her room of her gagging, making choking noises. And so ran in there, and he was in there already. And I saw him panicked, and then I looked at her and saw what he was freaking out about. She was stiff and white, blue lips, and she was making these noises, arms at her side, quivering. And we thought she was choking. We had no idea it was a seizure. We called paramedics, and they came, and by the time they got there, it was over. I remember my husband, and he ran downstairs with her little 2-year-old body and handed her to the paramedics, and I had been on the phone calling them because it was a corded phone and it wouldn't reach into her bedroom, so I couldn't see. And when he handed her over, she took a breath, and it was the first time in I don't know how many minutes that I knew that she was still alive. And they examined her, the seizure was over, and they said, her airway's clear, but what you just described sounds a lot like a seizure. And we both said, "Oh, what's a seizure?" We had no idea. Yeah. That was our harsh introduction into the world of epilepsy, and it's been about just that harsh living in it. So, but we've learned how to deal. Best days. About 2 weeks ago, Savannah was in the living room in her pajamas, and we were all just sitting around, and a song came on her iPad. She said, "Let's dance." And so I stood up and I was dancing with her, and then I put another song on my phone, and her dad started dancing, and Dad started, twirling her, and you know, and moving her around and the smile on her face. I have this video of her of, gosh, a good 2 minutes of her dancing and just having a blast, and all of us just having a good time. She was laughing and talking and dancing. Worst day ever was I was in, oh God, there's a lot of worst days. I'll give you the one that first came to my mind because the other ones are a little too hard to go to. I was in the bedroom. I was actually in the bathroom, trying to go to the bathroom. And I heard a sound like somebody had hit our kitchen counter. You know, the counter where you, like, it's a bar and you can sit at it, there's bar stools. And I didn't think anything of it. I, you know, finished and I went in there to see her on the floor in the kitchen under the counter, helmet off, and a pool of blood rolling out of her head into the cracks of the tile that we had on our hard tile floor, and her in the middle of a seizure. And you know, the paramedics came and took her away. She had fractured her skull. And when they got there, you know, they're stepping in the blood, and I can still remember the footprints of fireman footprints of blood through the house. And the skull fracture was actually at the base of her skull, right where it starts to curve in, and they didn't know that because there was so much blood, but they put her in a collar, right, because head injury, collar. And several hours later at the hospital, we learned that that collar was digging directly into the skull fracture, causing her pain, and nobody knew. We were in the hospital for a while for that one. 13 staples later. And you can still say to her, gosh, it's been probably years since that injury, but you can still say to her, you know, you need to wear your helmet because you don't want to hurt your head again. And she'll go and get staples. She's never forgotten. Worst day. Well, one of them. We won't go to the other ones where we've almost lost her. So those are a little hard.
You enjoy the wins, always enjoy the wins. And the losses, you play them over and you have what if, you know, but it's like a big game. Life is a big game. Like I said, sometimes you lose, and you're gonna lose a lot, you know, and the wins are far in between. You know, it's like, even like now where you was messing with it, the things I would talk about is, at times I'm kind of corny, is every time I see a falling star, the first thing that I wish for every single, I've done it, I don't know how long, is that I wake up one day and my daughter's is healthy. That's what I wish for, every time. I believe in karma, big time karma. If I screw you over, it's coming at me. If I died and came back an animal, a hyena, scavengers, you survive, you know. Eat the dead, eat the alive, and keep moving on. No, I'm just teasing. If I came back an animal, I like to be like maybe like an eagle or a bird, some type of bird. I could just soar and fly. That's what I would like to do if I would came back. Yeah. I got 4 kids.
You got 4.
I got two older kids with my good wife, and then I got 2 kids with my wife here. Both good right now. Yeah, I got 4 kids. I got 2 of my first wife, Ruben and Samantha, and then I got 2 with Tracy, which is Talon and Savannah. But I do tell them that Savannah is my favorite. They go, Dad, why is she your favorite? I said, because she's still a tax deduction. I get handicap parking, I get SSI. That's a win. I mean, epilepsy got it, but you know what? I got that too, epilepsy, so thank you. I'll take that as a win. But that's why she's my favorite. I still get VIP parking. I go to games, baseball games, we get better seating because we have the service dog in Savannah. So epilepsy is bad, but I'll take that. I'll take that as a win. It's a positive thing. Excellent. So, yeah. Like we got real good neighbors next to us, and their daughter's about a year younger than Savannah. And I see them going back and forth, arguing and stuff like that. And I do live through other kids, their daughters, mostly through them, because I'm thinking, what if my daughter was healthy? Like for example, their daughter Rachel, real free spirit, it's like Savannah, free spirit. And they'll argue back and forth. They're not bad arguing, just arguing. And I sit there with her dad. I say, you know what? I wish I could do that to my daughter. I wish I would sit up there with my daughter, could argue, you know, like you guys are discussing. But, and then the wife turns over and kind of smacks me. Goes, see, I told you you're such a jerk. I'm like, well, I didn't mean that as a bad way, but I wish, I do. Like I said, a shooting star goes by. I wish my baby was healthy. If I could switch places with her and I get to pee myself and just sit there and drool, I would do that, like any parent would. I'm not just saying I'm the only one. No, of course not. If I could do that for her in a heartbeat, or change a body part in order for her to live in me, I'm good with that. I'm good. While other people are thinking about college and stuff with their kids, I'm thinking where I'm getting my daughter cremated. You know, what I'm going to, because that's reality. That's life. I mean, those are the cards that I was dealt. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not a God person. I don't blame anybody. But I think about her dying every day, like a service dog. If I didn't have to have Freddie, I wouldn't want him. And the reason is not that he's not a good dog. I'm not a dog lover. I'm tolerant. I know people see them as their family. I'm good with that. If they're welcome at home, their dogs are as well. No big deal. The thing with Freddie is that if she wasn't sick, I wouldn't need him. So he wouldn't even existed for us. That's why. So it's not a bad thing. I wish we didn't need him. You know, we go to get a cab, and the cab drivers get upset because we don't take pets. Well, good, he's not a pet. And so then I got to get to be an asshole with them because my daughter didn't choose to wear diapers. She didn't choose to be disabled, like a lot of these kids. So these people that drive cabs and don't want them in their car, then get another job. You know, but those are the kind of battles, and I don't mind those kind of battles because some people like to shy away. I'm not shy. If you want me to pull my pants down right now, I'll pull them down now. It doesn't bother me a bit. But to defend her or people like her all day, every day, and that's why I say I don't care about your feelings. I don't care. Oops, if something happened to you in life, don't worry about it. Right now, that child they cannot defend themselves. I'll step in. Not that I'm a badass. No, I'm a sissy. When Yeller died, I cried. You know, but my thing is, if I have to defend somebody like my daughter, all day, and my thing, your feelings, don't matter to me. Your religion, culture, I don't care. My thing is that these kids didn't choose this life. They picked them. My wife, she didn't pick this job. Epilepsy picked her job for her, and that's her mission. And my job is to keep the fires burning at home. And she's got a bigger mission. I'm a gorilla. I carry luggage, change diapers, I do stuff, but she's the brains, I'm the bulk. If she was the president, I'd be the chief of staff. That's what I would do. And I dream about that too. I say, what, Tracy should be the president, and I'll be her chief of staff. And we'll put foot in somebody's ass, and you're gonna get shit done. You know, I joke a lot about politics, and I honestly, I hate them. I hate politics, whether Democrat, Republican, I don't like them at all, but we need them. You know, it's like doctors. I don't really care for doctors. They've never have a hard time when you have a doctor that doesn't have a special needs child, but then they're not playing, these are my words, they're playing with my daughter's health and they're guessing. So to me, you're not a doctor, you're a guesser. You know, we might as well go to a pub and throw darts at a board and the next recommended test. I can do that shit. I got a high school diploma. I can guess myself. Is it fair? Absolutely not fair. That's not fair. But when they became a doctor, they knew or should have known they're going to run into parents like me that are frustrated, they're scared, emotional. And then if you can't handle that, it's time to get another job. Like me, when I worked in corrections, I knew I was going to get spit at, assaulted. I knew that, but I still took the job, and I'm like, I'm good with it. So it's not. I really don't like calling doctors a doctor until you, and if you cure my daughter, you can have whatever you want. I'll call you a doctor, but until you cure my daughter, Mike, Anthony, Tom, blah, 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 no, you're not my wife's more of a doctor now. She's the one that figured out what was causing the seizures, not doctor. So you walk around with a cup of coffee, got a parking spot, everybody, yes, doctor, no doctor, but you haven't done shit. My daughter's still having seizures. She's gonna die. She's got brain damage, so I'm supposed to be thankful for that? No, but I don't blame anybody. That's the cards I was dealt, and that's the cards I'll play. So, sorry, I like to ramble.
Excellent. I love love your round.
But I think it is, and I see these parents out there that Tracy goes to these functions and they gyrate toward her because she kind of figured out with the medication that we needed to kind of not stop all the seizure, but take a lot of them away or keep her from having them. And there's people out there right now with young kids that were where we were at then, and it's rough. I mean, it's like I tell people walk up to me and they say, Ruben, I don't know how you do it every day. I said, well, it's not like I can take her back to the store with a receipt and say, she's defective. Can I get another one? No, that's my baby. That's what I was given. I'll deal with it. And so I tell people, I say, no. What happens is you may see me as a light in the harbor, your ship out there in the storm, and I'm your light. If I can help you keep going in life, use me all day. Because you know what? There's somebody that's watching you that you don't know. You're their light. And they say, oh my God, how does Anthony do it? I don't know how he does it every day. And so when you quit on them, it's on you because you quit on them. So you're not just quitting on yourself. It's everybody that you don't know that pass you by and say, wow, that's a good dad. Look at that mom. Look at that daddy up there. And that's it. So it's a big circle. And that's why I like The Lion King. It's my favorite movie. Circle of life. And that's what it is, So all I know is I want my daughter to be happy while she's alive, have a good time. There's rough patches. But I'm preparing for her to die. When she does die, that's like my mom used to ask me when she was alive. She goes, when do you rest? I said, Mom, I'll rest when I'm dead. I said, right now, I can't afford to rest. I don't trust anybody with Savannah. I love my wife, but not that I don't trust her with her safety. I get things done, a certain way. I know I've been with her a long time, when she was on her cycles, her cycles when she's going to have guesstimate when she's going to have a seizure or maybe not, or her acne and what she likes to eat, if she's in the mood to read, or to do a puzzle, or just to lay there and drool. I know those things, and I don't expect somebody else, because if she does finally pass away, that's on me. That's for me. That should not fall on somebody else's backpack. As her father, that's my job. If she dies, I don't want anybody feeling guilty because Savannah died on them. That's my job as a parent, not as a man, as a parent. Like with Tracy, done sleeping on Savannah twice, and I did it. And she said, oh my God, what a good dad. I said, no, I didn't do that for a good dad. I did it because I'm selfish. They go, selfish? Yes, because if she was to die with Tracy, I would have blamed her. It's your fault. You failed her. You failed her. And that kind of pressure every day, so you failed her, I don't know how she'll handle it. I know I'm going to handle it. A coward. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to go on the bridge and die drunk, heroin addict, I don't know. I think about those things. That if she dies when I'm trying to bring her back to life, or not if she just passed away in her sleep, but if she choked or fell down and injured herself and she died, that's on me. And I don't want her carrying that. It's my job as her father, as the man of the house, to take that burden. Throw it in my backpack, and then I'm the failure, and I go and die under a bridge and pass away. Then I can rest. They've learned acceptance. They've learned compassion. I mean, not that they're selfish. I got good kids. I mean, I lucked out. They're good kids. But Sammy and Ruben, my oldest ones, they live in Wisconsin, so they don't see her as much. But even when they're around her, it's like they were never gone. She loves her sister. And even my daughter-in-law, Melissa, she loves Melissa. But they're accepting, the drools on their clothes. They're like, who cares? I don't care. Other people, they don't have them. They're like, oh my God, sorry, that's our life. And so my kids are accepting. It doesn't matter. Their society's worse. They're defected. They don't care about that stuff. All they know is that that's their sister, and they want to see her giggle. They want to see her laugh. So again, acceptance is for them. The one that had a little bit different was it's her brother. My youngest is Talon. 7 years old. I went to take the trash out, and she landed on the sofa, and we're watching Monday Night Football. She rolls off the sofa. It was quiet, carpeted, and he's just sitting there on his stomach watching TV, and then I just happened to walk back in, and there's her head, the circle of some orange substance. I knew what it was. It was mango. And then she was choking. And that's when I go in there, and then Talon turns around and goes, oh my God, Dad, it's my fault. I said, no, son, it's not your. So to this day, he's 28 years old now. It affects him today. He goes, Dad, he goes, she almost died because it was my fault. I said, no, son, it's not your fault. But he's another one. He's another one that's accepting and very protective. Very protective. Especially in public, when she's, and pushing around in a wheelchair, and people are not aware of what's going on and stuff like that, and they run into her. He gets very defensive about that because they're not watching about, it's not always about you. Get off your phone, watch out for other people. He's a polite kid, but when it comes to his sister, don't. It's like, but I'm sure, like any other sibling, be the same way. Just don't. Don't make fun of them. Don't mess with them. They just want to live like everybody else. So, but yeah, acceptance is a big thing, I think, in my opinion.